$279. That is right, $279 for the best 1440p 240Hz IPS flat gaming monitor out there right now. Welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. This is the Black Friday and Cyber Monday Deals 2025 video. Buckle up. We're about to go on a roller coaster ride through the best deals in PC gaming, from PC components to pre-built gaming PCs, gaming laptops, gaming monitors, mice, keyboards, and more. If you get value out of this video, please give it a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel. And of course, subscribe for more cool PC content. Let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by Seasonic, who many consider the gold standard in PC power supplies. I recommend Seasonic PSUs because they're built to last and perform under load. For PC enthusiasts looking for ultimate performance, Seasonic's flagship Prime TX lineup delivers. ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.1 compatible with 1300 and 1600 watt versions for maximum power needs. The Prime TX PSUs now come with updated 12-volt 2x6 cables for increased safety and reliability with RTX 50 series GPUs. And Seasonic's digital fan control means the PSU stays cool and quiet under load. If you are looking for no compromises, performance in power, thermals, and noise, check out the Seasonic Prime TX 1300 and TX 1600 using the link in the video description. If you're wondering if you should buy something now or if you should wait, maybe something new will come out next year, I would say if it uses RAM or SSDs or depends on it in any way, you should absolutely buy it right now during Black Friday. AI data centers are basically vacuuming up every RAM and SSD chip out there right now. Prices have absolutely spiked for several components. However, right now there are deals to offset some of those. Those prices are going massively up in 2026, probably even 2027. So if you're thinking about upgrading, building now, buying a new gaming PC, do it now. All right, let's jump into the deals. Everything is linked down in the video description. Check out those links. We will continue to update those as we find better Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals and holiday shopping deals as well. And of course, check out the post tab on our YouTube channel. We post deals that drop right away. All right, let's jump through some graphics card deals for Black Friday. Let's start off with RTX 50 series GPUs, then we'll jump into the AMD Radeon ones. Right now, the best deal I'm seeing for the RTX 5080, $949. This is the PNY 3-fan, but this is an OC model, by the way. So it's actually a pretty good deal, but it is a little bit more basic. If you're looking for something with a lot of RGB and everything like that, most of the MSRP $999 ones or these kinds of models, you probably have to pay more like $1,100. I would say pick this one up instead. If you're looking for an RTX 5070 Ti and a good model, unfortunately, there was a $699 one at Walmart, has completely sold out. I don't know if that one will come back. Check the links down in the video description to see if it has. But next one up here is the MSI Ventus, and this is the Ventus 3X OC Black model, $729 after a $20 rebate. Pretty good price. If you're looking to buy something off Amazon right now, the best one I can find is the Gigabyte RTX 5070 Ti WindForce, but this is an OC model. Now you click that coupon for $40 coupon, $789 becomes $749. You're basically getting it for MSRP. We got some RTX 5070 deals. In fact, that's probably the biggest discount that I'm seeing out here right now. $479 for the RTX 5070 MSI Ventus. This is, again, the OC Black model over at Newegg, $479, but it's after a $20 rebate. There was a $489 one over at Walmart that has completely sold out. The danger for graphics cards always is the closer you get to Black Friday, the more they sell out and the more you may end up having to pick a model you didn't want. Best deal over on Amazon right now is the ASUS Prime. Pretty good model, $527 though. You're paying a little bit more, but it's still under MSRP. Then in terms of the last interesting NVIDIA GPU discount I'm seeing right now, at $399, you can pick up the RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte. Again, this is the Ventus OC Black Plus. I don't know why they need all these modifiers on it. The GPU looks pretty nice. It is mostly plastic though. It's not a lot of metal, but it is an OC model as well. And it is getting pretty close to the price of the RX 9060 XE 16 gigabyte. Let's jump over to AMD Radeon GPU discounts right now on the RX 9000 series. Let's start off with the RX 9070 XT 16 gigabyte. Just like I said in my best GPUs for Black Friday, I didn't think this GPU was going to get much under MSRP at all. In fact, we're hearing that AMD intends to raise prices on these GPUs, so I wouldn't expect anything under MSRP for the 9070 XT, which is in high demand right now. But we do see some discounts on some of the higher end models that are coming down much closer to MSRP. So for instance, they've got the flagship Power Color Red Devil model right now on for $649 over at Amazon. This is a pretty nice model and is one of the more heavily overclocked ones. Another great model is the Power Color Hellhound. month. We actually have this one ourselves. I like this one quite a bit. However, I do want to say the front light on this is an LED. It's not ARGB, but you can turn it off if you don't like it. However, it is one of the nicer models out there. And of course, if you are looking just to pick this thing up for MSRP, the Power Color Reaper at Amazon for $5.99. You can also get the ASRock Challenger model over at Newegg for $5.99. Now we have seen the RX 9070 non-XT, but still 16 gigs of VRAM fall under MSRP, just like I told you it would. Can't really compete with the 9070 XT at $599 if this is $549. So we see two models right now. Either one I think is pretty good. So we got the ASRock Challenger. Now I want to say the ASRock Challenger for $529. This is the cheapest one right now over at Newegg. I do want to caution you, this light bar at the top is not ARGB. It is an LED. Can be turned off if you just find it annoying, but you can't control the color of it. You can, of course, pick up a higher end 9070 model if you want for that. And then, of course, we also have the Sapphire Pulse, very popular model at $539. It's a two-fan, kind of shorter model out there. And again, it's under MSRP. Finally, let's jump over to the RX 9060 XT 16GB. I know in our GPU update video at the time, I thought this model probably would not come down below $349, but I thought maybe some of the higher end overclock models would drop down to $349. I have to tell you, hearing that AMD intends to raise prices because of VRAM prices massively going up, I don't think that will necessarily be the case. It might be still, but I would expect to pay $349 for these. And if you want a nicer model, slightly more. The Power Color Reaper right now, it's a really good model. And in fact, if you're looking for a small form factor one, this is a really good card. Over at Newegg, we've got the ASRock Challenger has come down to $349. This is a non-overclock model, just like the other Challenger models. Of course, this light bar here at the top, it's not ARGB, it's just an LED. You can turn it off though. Not a bad model for $349. Now, some of the higher end models that have come down in price are like the Power Color Hellhound Spectral RX 9060 XT 16GB. $369. This thing looks really sick. By the way, if you want to do an all-white build or a white theme build with a graphics card like this, I really like this card. If instead you're looking for one with some RGB that's also white, I do like the ASRock Steel Legend. Has now come down to $369. Has ARGB on the top and on the fans. Let's jump into some gaming monitor deals and we'll get back to all the components and laptops and pre-builts and gaming mice and keyboards. Now, I did an entire Black Friday gaming monitor deals video, and I will leave that link down in the video description. I'm just kind of picking some of the top deals from there right now, but if you don't see what you want, if you're looking for something else, maybe super ultra wide or something like that, check out the full video. Let's start off with an insane deal. We're going to start off at 4K OLED and we're going to work our way down. The Gigabyte AORUS FO32U2, so this is a 32-inch 240 hertz OLED 4K gaming monitor. Not only is it the cheapest at $749 right now, it's one of the best out there as well. Can't even believe this deal. Now, this has KVM switches. That means you can use the same mice and keyboard with multiple devices on it. It has a USB hub to it. It has a great stand with tilt, swivel, and height adjustment. Overall, just absolutely insane for $749 for 32 inches. Here's a great deal over at Best Buy right now. This is the LG 48-inch B5 OLED. So this is a 120 hertz OLED 4K TV. So if you want like a game room kind of TV setup with a PS5 or a console or your gaming PC, this is insane. For 48 inches, $549. But here's the thing. If you're even just looking for a TV, the 55 inch is $899. The 65 inch is an insane price, $999. This is top flight kind of stuff at great prices. All right, let's move on to 1440p 27-inch. We're gonna start with OLED gaming monitors and we're gonna start with 360 hertz. Now, I will say if you don't need 360 hertz, I would say drop down to a 240 hertz, save the money because really the difference is mostly the refresh rate. However, if you are looking for something that's gonna be capable of 360 hertz, the Alienware AW2725DF $549 for this game monitor is absolutely insane. This is, again, 360 hertz. The thing I like about this is it's got great construction to the monitor. It's got a great stand on it, height, tilt, and swivel on it, and it has a USB hub as well. This is one of the best 360 hertz out there, and it's also the cheapest right now. All right, dropping down to 240 hertz, 1440p OLED 27-inch gaming monitor. This is a great deal on the Samsung OLED G6 for $499. Yes, $50 difference, but again, if you're never gonna get the benefit of 360 hertz, if you mostly play single player titles, or you have a weaker GPU, for instance, I'd pick this one up instead. This, again, full featured on this one, and I like it in particular because there's no drawbacks to this gaming monitor whatsoever. At 240 hertz, it's got the full suite of features, including it's got a USB hub, it's got a great stand to it. Again, $499, it's kind of tough to beat. If you're just looking to get into OLED kind of at any price you can, the AOC Q27 G41 ZDF might be for you. Now, there's some cut down things on this game monitor. It's $369, which is pretty insane. So right now it's also $399 over at Amazon. Sometimes Amazon does meet these prices, but right now Best Buy's got the best price on it. The stand is absolute hot garbage. It just basically exists as a stick there to hold the monitor up. I would recommend buying at least a $20 or $30 monitor arm with it, by the way. The other thing is, kind of stripped down in terms of its other features, doesn't have any kind of USB hub. Listen, you can buy a USB hub for $10 or $20 online, so maybe that's not the biggest deal in the world. The other thing I will say about this, while the picture quality is generally very good, did note in some of the reviews that in HDR, some of the colors were slightly undersaturated. Would a normal person be able to tell that without a colorimeter? Probably not, but just something to be aware of. However, for $369, this is going to beat the pants off of any LCD gaming monitor you can pick up for around the same price. All right, let's jump into the best 1440p LCD gaming monitors out there, and look at this. 240 hertz 1440p IPS flat, $279 for the LG 27GR83Q-B. This is the best 1440p flat IPS 240 hertz gaming monitor. Yes, I know some of the new 300 hertz panels have started to roll out. However, almost none of them have any kind of review. So I really feel like you're rolling the dice if you get any of those. This is a phenomenal gaming monitor. It's time tested. It's been reviewed by everybody. This is the one that I would pick up, and it's got all the bells and whistles, including things like HDMI 2.1 and a USB hub. All right, let's jump into the best 1440p gaming monitors under $200. And I got a banger for you here. The Alienware AW2725DM, 180 hertz 1440p, excellent motion handling on this one, by the way, flat IPS, and it has all the bells and whistles. It's got a USB hub to it. It's got an incredible stand, height, tilt, and swivel to it. $179. This gaming monitor was originally designed to sell for closer to $300, but because the entire market has collapsed, you get an excellent gaming monitor for less than $200. Also, just wanted to highlight the best cheap 1440p game monitor continues to be the ASRock PG27 QFT2A. What I love about this is they brought back the one with a good stand on it. For a while, there is one for $7 less. It's got a terrible stand to it. Just spend the $7. I mean, a monitor arm would cost you $20. Get this for $144. Motion handling, not quite as good as the Alienware, so if you can spring for the Alienware, I would do that. Let's jump through the best Black Friday CPU deals I'm finding right now. If we find better deals as we get to Cyber Monday and everything, I will link them down in the video description. Check those links out. Here's what I'm finding so far, and I know in our CPU video I said, oh, you better buy this soon because otherwise it might go out. I think because of the RAM price increase, it has scared enough people off from building a new gaming PC, which by the way is a mistake. You should be building right now unless you want to wait until 2028 or 2029 or something like that. Build now, just eat the RAM prices, get the discounts on something else. But something like the 9800X 3D has actually not sold out, and I do think that's because the RAM price has scared some people off out there. But $449, pretty good price for the 9800X 3D right now. Will it eventually sell out? It might. But check out this deal over at Newegg. You get $25 off, so it's like $454, right? And then you get a free 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler, and it happens to be this one right here, which is MSI Mag Core Liquid A15. Pretty good cooler, little noisy at 100% pump and fan speed. Just turn the fan speed, caps the fans like at 80, 85%. You're gonna get plenty of cooling from it. I would do the same with the pump speed. Just start at 70% and then just keep ticking it up until you can hear it, and then just drop it down until it's inaudible, basically. I'm seeing a similar deal for the 7800X3, which has dropped down to $384. I know it was like almost a little bit over $400 at the start of the month, so that's nice to see. At Newegg, similar kind of deal. Basically, you get $30 off, which drops down to $384, and you get a 240 millimeter version of that same liquid cooler. Plenty for a 7800X 3D. We haven't really seen any big price drops on like the 9600X. It is $188. It has come down like $15 or $20, which is nice, but we haven't seen that $156 price we saw for Amazon Prime Day in July out there. And right now, at the price I'm seeing with the 7600X, $181, I'd spend the extra $7 and get the 9600X. Probably could hold off a little bit and just see if you get some better deals with this one. But if you are open to the Intel Core Ultra 7 265K, there is an insane bundle over at Newegg you absolutely have to check out. It is crazy. Let's start off with the CPU. I added all to the cart here because it's just like so many add-ons and gifts and things like this. But let's start with the CPU itself. You get $50 off the CPU. So it's basically $259. It comes with a 240 millimeter AIO, which is plenty to cool it, and it comes with the Intel Holiday Bundle, so you get to pick one of 4 different games out there. But wait, there's more. If you combo it with a motherboard, and the best motherboard combo I found with it is the ASUS ROG Strix Z890-A, which is a super high-end motherboard, $229, but you get $30 off the motherboard. That drops it down to, what is that, $199 or something like that. And then it drops an additional $50 off the CPU. So you get the CPU for like $200. And on top of that, you get another game. You get Star Wars Outlaws with it. So for like $409, you get a high-end motherboard, you get the 265K, and you get a 240 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler with 2 free games. So that's pretty crazy. Now you can check out our best Black Friday PC builds for builds at various price points, including one as little as $800. Speaking of that, by the way, I know for you more budget-oriented folks, maybe you're hoping to put together like a 9060X T16GB GPU with a older AM4 CPU deal. Unfortunately, we haven't seen big discounts on AM4 CPUs. In fact, it seems like they've sold out. Same with the older like i5-12400F CPUs. Not that great, but I will say the Ryzen 5500 is $75 right now, and there is a pretty insane deal over at Newegg right now where you get the ASRock B550M Pro 4 motherboard, you get the Montech Hyperflow 240. That's a high performance 240 millimeter liquid cooler and 32 gigs of RAM. DDR4 for $200? Like what the F? What is going on there? It's crazy. And all you got to do is drop a CPU into it, and you're honestly quite good to go for just about anything. Now, you can either, kind of just muscle under and get a Ryzen 5600, not a terrible price, $135, or you could, of course, go with the PCIe Gen 3 only Ryzen 5500. I would pair it with an AMD Radeon RX 9060 XT 16 gigabyte GPU because it uses all 16 lanes on the GPU connector. You're not going to have any loss using PCIe Gen 3 with it, and you're going to have a great budget combo. Let's go through some great AM5 motherboard deals for like Ryzen 7000, 9000 series. Now we have our best Ryzen motherboard. You can check that out for all kinds of other options. Right now, there's an absolute fire sale on B650 motherboards. AMD is essentially discontinuing those. They'll continue to support these motherboards for years and years and years. I mean, they still support B350 motherboards, but you won't be able to buy them new anymore. So right now you can pick up some great deals. $119 for the MSI Pro B650M-A Wi-Fi. This is just one I would prefer. I do see it's running out of stock, so you might not get this by the time the video goes live. Incredible rear panel USB connectivity, got Wi-Fi and a really good VRM. Honestly, any Ryzen 5 or 7 CPU, you could even put a Ryzen 9 on this one. If that one sells out, I'll also like the Gigabyte B650M Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. $109. Now, the rear panel USB connectivity on this one is not quite as good, so I would prefer the MSI board. But if you just want to save $10, you're like, Jason, I don't need all this USB connectivity. I just want cheap because I want to offset that RAM price. Get this one. If you're looking for full-size ATX, I like the Gigabyte B850 Gaming X Wi-Fi. It has really good rear panel USB connectivity. It's got a built-in rear I/O shield, 3 full bandwidth M.2s, and I was going to say this is my top pick because the VRMs are also very, very good on it. But then ASUS went out and they lowered the price of the TUF Gaming B650E Plus. It's not the B650E. That board is kind of a mid-range board. This is a premium motherboard out there. Pretty good rear panel USB connectivity. It's got premium audio ALC 1220 on it and it has 3 full bandwidth M.2s. This is an insane value. If you do want to get something even more premium, there's 2 options out here. Yes, you can go to X870E, and I see some deals out there for like $230, $240, but especially if you want to offset those RAM prices, go with the TUF Gaming B850 Plus. We use this in our 9800 X3D build guide. Absolutely loved it. $189. It basically upgrades some of the USB rear panel connectivity to it. And that's really it. It's a great looking board. If you want like all the USB-C connection out there, the MSI Mag B850 Tomahawk Max might be for you. Similar cool styling to the ASUS TUF, but I think this one has slightly better rear panel USB connectivity if you want 3 USB-Cs on it. In fact, it's the most you get until you go to X870E. All right, let's jump into the tough spot right now, which is RAM deals. And I'll use deals with quotation marks because I know compared to previously, they're not deals, but I recommend you buy RAM right now because RAM prices are just going to go up. These prices are going to look good in 2026. Let me tell you, and you can offset it with some deals right now. We have a whole Black Friday RAM video that explains how to approach RAM, what speed you should be getting, what cache latency, with about 16 versus 32 gigs out there, even for DDR5. So check that out. And we have a long list in that video of RAM deals that we update every single day And at the same time, if you click on our post tab here on our main channel, you can see I'm posting the best RAM deals that I can find right now. So let's go through a couple. I know these will be gone instantaneously, but you may be lucky enough to get something like this. $259, right? Jace, that's a lot for a 32 gigabyte DDR5 RGB kit that's 6000 CL36. Comes with a 280 millimeter LCD cooler, the NZXT Kraken one. So that is crazy. That's a $100 value. So if you take $100 away from this, you basically get the RAM for $159, which would be the cheapest DDR5 32 gigabyte kit right now. Again, I'll link this down in the video description. I don't expect it to last very long. Right now, in terms of just standalone RAM kits, the best I'm seeing is about $200 for DDR5 6000 CL36. That's for a V-Color kit. V-Color does typically appear on a lot of the QVL lists for motherboards, by the way. If you're unsure, you can check the QVL list. I would probably just go ahead and buy it. And then we also have Clev Crass kits out there. DDR5 6000 CL30, $214 is the cheapest I can find by quite a bit too. And then $245 for an RGB kit. Let's jump into SSD deals. Again, I'm gonna use deals in air quotes because we are seeing happen to SSDs right now, what happened to RAM prices last month, which is they just started to explode in price. At first it was $5 or $10 per terabyte, but now drives that were costing $50 per terabyte for 1 terabyte are now more like 90 to 100. So we have seen a doubling of SSD prices, and those SSD prices seem to be accelerated upwards. So what's going on right now, the deals that you're going to be able to find are essentially not everybody raises their price at the same rate. So you're just looking for somebody who hasn't yet raised their price, basically. Right now, the PNY CS3140 M.2 NVMe with a $10 promo code, $74. This is kind of your low watermark in terms of pricing right now for 1 terabyte. I will say 2 terabyte drives do seem like they're slightly better price still than 1 terabyte drives out there, but this is a pretty good deal. And all these are linked, by the way, in the video description. Basically, same rules for SSDs apply to RAM. Just get whatever you can. For most gamers, you do not need a DRAM drive. Don't overspend on your drive, especially right now. We've got some other ones out here. We got the Crucial P310 for $79. Again, good NVMe SSD that has a host memory buffer process to it, no DRAM. Clev Crass C910, still $79. These are still kind of acceptable pricing out there. One that I do like is the Western Digital Blue SN5100. I like this. It has a very large SLC cache to it. So if you want to do large writes, if you want to get something that's a little bit faster in terms of those writes, $89 is not bad, but at least at the time of filming right now, I am still seeing the Clev Crass C930 for $89. This has DRAM on it, so this is a great drive to pick up. By the way, it also comes with a heatsink. For those of you who are looking for a drive for like PS5 or something like this, this is a good one to pick up. Then we've got the Acer Predator. Right now, $100, not the best value, but not bad in terms of a DRAM drive. And this does often go on sale. So I just wanted to leave it linked down in the video description. You can check this one out. And then for the Samsung 990 Pro, this is a 2 terabyte version, by the way. $169 is not terrible for this drive right now. In fact, it's about as cheap as it was for Amazon Prime Day in October. So I would probably snap this one up. Let's jump into some best gaming laptops for Black Friday. Now, I did a whole Black Friday laptop video here. You can check this out. You can see how many I have linked down in the video description. And we're updating these links on a continual basis as new deals come up. But I wanted to pull out 3 deals. Now we go from 5090 all the way down to the cheapest laptops here, but let's pull 3 deals out here that I think are pretty good. This one's really insane. I mean, it probably will sell out. $629 is crazy low price. I would expect usually to pay about $750 even on Black Friday for this particular gaming laptop. Acer Nitro 5, it's 16 inch. It has a 180 hertz IPS 1080p screen with an RTX 5050 and a Ryzen 5 240 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD. You can add an additional SSD in the future, of course, but for $629, this is just so crazy cheap. This will definitely get you started. If you want to come up in power, honestly, it's kind of a big jump because that $629 laptop is just insanely cheap, but this is the next best deal. Honestly, it's around about $1,000. This is for an RTX 5060 with a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD and 32 gigs of system RAM. 32 gigs is really what you want for gaming in 2025. You can get away with 16 gigs if you're on a super budget, but if you have more money to spend, I would recommend 32 gigs. Great CPU, i7 14650HX, by the way. Honestly, not much else to say. It's a full TGP RTX 5060, so 2 thumbs up. And then this is just the craziest deal, and honestly, I would not be shocked if this one sells out in the next 24 hours. Check the links down in the video description. This is the Acer Predator Helios with an RTX 5070 Ti. Now, why is that important? It has 12 gigs of VRAM, where the other ones only have 8 gigs of VRAM on it. This is definitely enough for 1440p gaming. Got 32 gigs of system RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, and an OLED 240Hz screen for $1499. Similar price, similar spec laptops, I should say, are selling for $1,800 or more like $1,900 to $2,300 out there. This is just an insane deal. Let's jump into some great pre-built gaming PC deals for Black Friday. Just like I did with laptops, I'm going to pull out 3 deals. We have a whole video on best pre-built gaming PC 2025 buying guide, kind of helping you understand what it is you need to find. And then we go through specific examples. And I keep this list updated on a regular basis. I'm going to pull out 3 deals from this list. We go from RTX 5090 gaming PCs all the way down to kind of ultra budget ones. But let's just pull out a couple. I want to start off with ABS. This is Newegg's in-house pre-built brand. They take some of their off-the-shelf parts, they put them together, and they come up with pre-builts like this. The thing I like about ABS is you always know exactly what parts you're going to get. You don't always know that with other system integrators out there. For $2,300 though, this is a 9800X3D and RTX 5080 with 32 gigs of DDR4 6400, I think it's CL32 memory out there. That is crazy. And a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD. You'd kind of struggle, especially with RAM prices right now, to build this. The great thing is they're putting some of these together with RAM that was purchased when RAM was much cheaper and SSDs were much cheaper. So you might even get a great deal. This one like completely shocked me when I saw it actually today. This is the CyberPower PC that's over at Best Buy. This is a Ryzen 7800X3D with a 9070 XT 16 gigabyte GPU, pretty high-end GPU, and 32 gigs of DDR5 with a 2 terabyte NVMe SSD and a 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. And this Fantex case, by the way, this is a $150 case. I don't generally expect to see these kinds of high-end cases when you're just doing kind of value pre-builts out there. So this is crazy. $1,549, by the way, similar spec pre-builts, they're like $1,800, $1,900. So this just kind of completely blew me away. If you're looking for something closer to $1,000 and you still want to get good 1440p performance, obviously in our best pre-built video, we go all the way down to like $700, $800 pre-builts, with budget stuff. But this is a great one. So this is a Skytech. Skytech's a great brand that we recommend all the time. Ryzen 7700 on it, good CPU. The cooler is fine. It's a budget tower air cooler. They're probably using an eco mode. Not going to really lose any performance with an RX 9060 XT 16 gigabyte on it, which is 2 thumbs up, and a 1 terabyte NVMe and 32 gigs of DDR5 6000 RAM. I want to get 32 gigs in these systems, and for $1,149, honestly, the rest similar spec systems with this or a 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte, it's more like $1,300, $1,400. Let's go over some gaming keyboards, mice, and headsets. This is stuff we often don't necessarily do a lot of coverage on the channel, but I did find some really good deals. Let's start off with a keyboard that I actually like quite a bit. That is the SteelSeries Apex 3 TKL. I like the TKL, the 10 keyless keyboards out there. I have a shoulder problem, so this is really good for me. Also just gives you a lot more room on your desk for your mouse, basically, especially if you don't need the 10 keypad. $32 is an insane value. I think I bought this a couple years ago for like $60. If you do want the full-size keyboard, you want something a little bit higher end, the Corsair K70 RGB Pro mechanical wired keyboard out there, $94. That is a pretty decent discount off this. I think it normally runs about $130. Let's jump in a couple gaming mouse as well. This is the SteelSeries Rival 3 Gen 2 gaming mouse. Pretty good entry-level gaming mouse. $24. Again, it's about a $10, $15 discount, not bad. If you do want to step up your game a little bit, the Razer DeathAdder V3, this is the wired version of it. This is typically rated as one of the higher performing gaming mice out there. 59 grams isn't the ultra lightest, but it is pretty light. If you do want to go crazy, check out the Razer Viper V3 Pro Wireless. This is a great esports gaming mouse. It's got really good polling rates to it. It's 54 grams, it's relatively light, and honestly, it's one of the top rated in reviews. Let's jump through a couple of great gaming headsets. Let's start kind of on the more budget end here. Pretty good deal too. The HyperX Cloud Stinger 2, I like this one quite a bit. It's good sound. Overall, decent construction link to it. Microphone's nothing to write home about, but honestly, for $29, what do you want? If you want to step it up a little bit, I also like the HyperX Cloud Alpha. I have that headset over here. It's really comfortable, I find. In particular, I do like the construction on it, and the mic is quite a bit better than the other one, but obviously it's about double the price. Remember, everything is linked down in the video description. We're going to keep updating that with the best deals that we can find. Also, check out our YouTube page under posts or our Twitter. We're going to post the best deals we can find right away. If you got value out of this video, please give a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel. And don't forget to check out all the other Black Friday guides we got out there. And we'll catch you on the next one.